And welcome back to Love Your Food. This week we are doing a follow-on, well, we're doing a different recipe, but we're using the pesto that we made last week for this amazing roasted radish salad. Now, we're going to show you all of the ingredients. First, I'd like to remind everyone we have an affiliate link with Chef's Temp if you need a kitchen thermometer. Please check out the link in the description below and use your code LOVEYOURFOOD on checkout for 15% off your order. In the meantime, here's the ingredients for this amazing salad. We've got some just plain salad radishes. Here's our pesto from last week. A just plain vinaigrette. Some pecans. Some capers. Some mint. A little bit of parmesan or grana padano. And some navy beans. Now, the first thing you want to do, of course, for this is make sure your beans are cooked. And you just want to cook them until they're just done. Nicely al dente, a little bit fluffy, to your taste, really, basically. We also want to toast our pecans. Now that that's all done, we can start getting our radishes ready. Now, you want to, we're going to be roasting almost all of them. We're going to keep a couple of the sort of bigger ones aside because we're going to slice them raw on top at the end. But most of these are going to go into the oven and get roasted. So we're just going to cut them in half for that. So once they're cut in half, you're going to trim off the stem bit and the root bit, cut them in half, make sure they're good and clean as well. And we're going to just toss them in a little bit of olive oil. We're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper in there as well. And these are going to go into a little baking tin, and these are going to go into the oven and roast. Now these are just, as I said earlier, just plain little, salad radishes, and they're not, some kind of special, fancy one or anything. It's just plain radishes. And those are going to go into the oven, and those are going to roast. And you want to keep them, flat side down. You get a little bit more color that way on the downside. And then you can see they have a nice little bit of brown on them. They are nicely roasted. They're a little bit soft. We're going to let those cool quite a bit, actually. So while we're doing the rest of our recipe, we're going to get everything together here. So we're going to add a bunch of this beautiful Parmesan cheese in with the already cooked and drained beans. So these are cooked and drained. And then we're going to add in the Parmesan cheese. We're going to chop the capers just a little. We're not going to make them, a paste or anything. We're not going to, mince them super, super fine. But we are going to give them a little chop here. And that just sort of helps them spread through the recipe a little easier. So we're just going to add those in with our beans and the cheese. A little bit of that vinaigrette. And this can be any kind of vinaigrette that you prefer to make. It can be your favorite, Italian dressing out of a bottle. It can be, the vinaigrette that you make at home for salads, whatever you prefer. You just want something a little zingy, some vinegar in there, and some oil, just, some flavor. So a little bit of salt as well, some black pepper. And we're just going to stir and make sure that all comes well combined. Now this is sort of the base of the salad. And we're going to put this all together on one big plate and serve it from there. So here are the radishes that we reserved. These are the ones that we didn't roast. And we're just going to slice these super, super thin, nice, paper thin slices of radish. It really helps to have a super sharp knife for this. You can also use a mandolin for this if you want. Just be careful with your fingertips. And the same with the mint. So we're going to get the mint off the stems. And then we're just going to package it all up together. You've seen us do this before with some fresh herbs. You just want to get it all nicely sort of bundled together. And then you can give it a really simple little chiffonade, and you get those nice, super thin little slices of mint in there. And that's going to be basically the garnish on top. So now it's time to sort of assemble the salad. So we're going to start with a layer of our beans. Now we made just enough for exactly how much we had here. And on top of that, we're just going to place these nice roasted radishes that are now mostly cooled. Amazing flavor and just great taste on those roasted radishes. And we're going to place a few of those slices of raw radish on top. We're going to sprinkle a little bit of that mint. Now we actually ended up chopping way more mint than we needed. We just wanted a little bit on top. Another quick little drizzle of that vinaigrette, whatever the vinaigrette you're using is. Now this is just one we made. And then a few little, little dollops of your pesto on there, here and there. And on top of that, we're just going to add our nicely toasted pecans. And that gives us a beautiful crunch and that great nutty flavor. There's also pecans in that pesto, if you'll remember from last week. And that's it. That's the whole thing. Super, super simple, honestly. It does take some time. Cooking the beans takes some time, and roasting the radishes. But there's nothing super complicated. It's just a very simple, delicious salad. And it is delicious. We were actually really surprised. Just roasting those plain, salad radishes came out extremely well. They were delicious. If you like this recipe, please do like and subscribe. And if you have any recipes you'd like to see Chef Caleb try on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. We'd like to thank our patrons over on Patreon. I'll put a link for that in the description below as well. And remember to love your food.